What's up, mortgage coach community? I am sitting down with Sean Uyehara out of Las Vegas, Nevada. What's up, Sean?
How's it going, man? I'm doing good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no, thanks for making time and thanks for just being a good leader. I love your energy and vibe. I follow you on Instagram, and I think it yesterday or the day before that you posted a story where you just hit 1,000 TCAs.
Yeah, it was a couple of days ago. We put that on our stories. It popped up when I logged into Mortgage Code, so I was super excited that we finally hit that.
Yeah, grandmaster. I mean, it's kind of cool to be a grandmaster at something, right?
Yeah, got to celebrate the little wins.
We got to celebrate the wins. Well, we love our gamification platform, Black Belt, Grandmaster, and we love it when our members post it and tag us. So if you're listening in, when you hit the Grandmaster Award, that is a black belt is a big deal. Doing anything 1,000 times is a big deal. At least I think so. So tell us a little bit about your mortgage practice. Tell us a little bit about your journey to becoming a Grandmaster at Mortgage Coach. Tell us where you're at and what you're doing a little bit.
Based in Las Vegas, Nevada. I've been in the business this year. We'll make 15 years. So I got in right after college when the market was crashing and everyone was probably running for the hills. And I decided to get in, and it was on accident. So I had no idea what I was getting into, but just kind of stuck it out, and just toughed it out like everybody else over the years. And I came across Mortgage Coach probably, I want to say maybe 3 or 4 years ago, and just totally bought into everything that you talk about and you preach. So for me, it was kind of a game changer in our business, to where I literally would watch every single YouTube video that you would put out. And even before this, I told my girlfriend I was hopping on this call, and she knew who you were. So
that's cool.
It was just kind of ingrained in me to just keep learning, from everybody in the community, with all the videos and interviews. So this is kind of cool to be doing this with you right now.
Well, it's an honor to have you in the community, brother. And I think you've watched the interviews. It's not because of me. You're watching it because I'm interviewing super legit, cool servant leader, some of the best loan officers in the country. And I, when I started committing time to doing this, I always felt like the biggest asset of Mortgage Coach. Well, it's debatable. Some people would say it's the technology. I say it's the people. It's the community of loan officers that not only use our product, but then they jump on stage and share what they do. I mean, that is our greatest asset. So I'm glad that you got value from it. Any particular interviews that stand out is more formative for you than others, or someone I interview a lot that you just get a lot of value from?
Dan Keller's, the Jeremy Forces. I mean, I think for those guys to achieve the level of success that they have, and just to be that candid and transparent about, some of the scripts that they use and how they run their business. I think for me, it was pretty eye-opening, to be able to adapt and take some of the stuff that they were doing, put that in what we do, and actually, start to grow our business as well. So, shout out to those guys. Cause yeah, I've been watching from afar for a long time, and, totally appreciate everyone that comes on and does an interview. So.
Right on. Well, tell us a little bit about your practice. You have a team. What kind of production do you do? Do you manage or lead anyone?
Yeah, so I manage a branch here in Vegas. There's a few Loan Depot branches, and my team consists of, I have like an assistant, and then I've got 2 other LOAs behind me. And then last year we did about 200 loans for about almost 60 million. And then this year last year, and then our branch did about 100 million or so. And then this year to date, I think we're a little over 30 million a year right now. So we're hoping the goal is to hit 100 million this year. So we're a little behind, but hopefully the second half of the year we pick it up a little more and get closer to that number.
Well, hey, if you could get anything close to last year's numbers, given that 50% of refis have gone away, at least 50% now, and purchases are strong, but let's face it, it's never been harder to get your offer accepted and get a purchase done. So every purchase is like a battle. What's it like in your market? How many people are you battling with your pre-approvals?
just like everywhere else, I mean, I'm licensed in 17 other states. So across the country, we're seeing it everywhere. You know, you're battling against other people to get offers accepted, but just trying to really harp on those relationships and, you know, making those upfront calls to the listing agents, letting them know, you know, hey, we've got these guys qualified. Even taking it to the extent of, if they don't answer, I'm sending video text messages. You know, we're sending emails. And actually, I got this from one of your episodes of including your Zillow reviews. So I've been
Right.
doing that as well on our intro email, and you know, it's helping us get offers accepted. I think last month this month I think we've already originated almost close to 30 loans. So it,
Killing it.
it's working. You know, we don't win them all, but hey, if we get a chance, you know, of being at bat, we want to try to optimize that as much as we can.
What percentage of your leads and families that you serve get a total cost analysis?
We do it on every single one, whether it's a purchase or refi. We do a TCA on every single deal that we do.
You know, I kind of knew well, I didn't know because I didn't know how many leads you were getting, but looking at the back end going into this, you and your team have done 68 TCAs in the last 30 days. So that is the way to get great at something. So keep that up for sure. You know, I liked, before this call, I was doing some research and you did a post on Instagram. I don't know, was it yesterday or was it today? Oh, 7 hours ago. And the headline was lowest rate doesn't always mean best deal. And I was just feel like that's a mortgage coach headline.
Yeah.
You know, rate, you know, the best strategy is always wins. Tell us a little bit about the story behind that post that you made.
So we had a client that reached out to us off of YouTube, and she's basically in contract on a new build set to close in October. And she was going through some of my videos and felt the need to reach out because the experience that she was having with the builder's lender was not up to her par. And so we're kind of walking through the scenario of her experience. You know, she just really pointed out the fact that she couldn't get a hold of the lender up front. And even when she did get a hold of them, they didn't give her any options. They basically threw her into a deal. And she mentioned she was putting 20% down. And whenever I hear that, I always know, for the most part, the reason why they're doing that is to avoid the mortgage insurance. So of course I asked her that question and she's like, yeah, I don't want to pay mortgage insurance. So I brought up the point of, well, if you put less than 20% down, there's actually a few options that we could take a look at to avoid your mortgage insurance, whether it's lender paid MI or financed MI. And of course, she had no idea that was possible. And you know, I just echoed her that that's probably one of the biggest myths that are out there in the mortgage industry, is that you have to put the 20% down to not have mortgage insurance. So kind of walking her through that. You know, she's relocating from the Bay Area, and I told her, based on her purchase price, if she's buying around the $350,000 range, hey, we can do it with 10% down, save that extra 35 grand and help you maybe furnish your home. That would help her out tremendously. And for her, that was a win. So now we're at the point of, she's got to close in October, but she's almost willing to forego the credit from the builder in order to work with me, so that way she can get into this property. So, you know, I just felt like I had to share that, because so many people, I think, when we commoditize the whole rate game, you know, everyone thinks that's the best way to shop. And I try to preach that in our videos and our social media, that it's not the rate, it's the strategy. And obviously I get that from you and the community here. So just trying to put that out there and start spreading the word that, you know, it's more than just the rate, it's the strategy and how the loan officer can package the deal, that to me, it's going to win at the end of the day.
Yeah, you mentioned when you started the story that this lead came from YouTube. Do you have a YouTube channel and a YouTube strategy that generates leads consistently?
Yeah. So a lot of our focus right now with our marketing is all based off of YouTube. We do have a channel. It's just under my name, Sean Uyehara. And we just try to post 2 to 3 times a week on there. And we do a lot of neighborhood videos about Vegas. And I've been doing a lot more mortgage stuff lately. But a lot of people, as you know, Vegas is a pretty hot market for people to relocate to. So we're trying to capture these leads ahead of time before they even get to the realtors. And honestly, it's been a huge source of business for us. I just came back from a walkthrough on a $1.5 million house that the guy reached out to me off of YouTube.
So I want to just show this on my screen because this is a super legit YouTube channel. 2,300 followers, 2,304. I mean, really solid banner, doing all the right things, great thumbnails, great headlines. What kind of business do you generate from this?
We're averaging about 60 or so leads a month right now, just from YouTube. And this is all organic. We're not doing any paid advertisements or nothing, no Google ads, pay-per-clicks.
Dude, you are killing it. I didn't, coming into the interview, I actually I didn't do a YouTube search for you. So I didn't know you had that, but you just said that. I'm glad I went down this rabbit trail because you look like you have one of the best YouTube channels of any loan officer in the mortgage coach community.
I kind of keep it under the radar. We don't, publish it too much. It's been honestly a project that myself and, my content director, we've been working on for the last, going really hard at it, probably the last 9 months. But we're probably averaging 500 or so subscribers a month. And I think lead wise, we've probably given away close to $10 million worth of leads just this year off YouTube. So it's
wow. Well, that is awesome. And I think every modern mortgage professional should have one. I mean, to put the kind of time, energy, and investment you're doing, maybe that's not for everyone, although it's a super smart idea. Kelly Zitlow, who are some of the people that you follow and you respect from a mortgage side that have YouTube channels? Anybody that inspires you or you get ideas from?
A lot of it just honestly, it's mortgage coach, and that's not because we're doing this. I still watch every video you guys put out, and a lot of it I try to look at, even from the real estate standpoint as well. So other realtors like Ryan Serhant and those guys, like I get a lot of inspiration from them, just because I like a different aspect as to what the video comes across as. And I know sometimes mortgages are boring, right? It's hard for us to make it sexy and fun. So I try to find ways to kind of make ourselves stand out a little more when we do these videos.
I think that's smart. And I hope you guys caught that. He's, while mortgage isn't sexy, people don't get homes because they want mortgages. Mortgages are a necessary evil. And if anything, they want to become debt free or have enough money to where they can pay off their mortgage. So getting your inspiration outside the mortgage space, Ryan Serhant is fantastic. He was, as I'm sure the speaker at our Modern Real Estate Summit, and we're going to do another one in November, and I'm in the process of confirming him for that. But yeah, he's got a great YouTube channel. Mortgage Coach Me, if you have questions, put them down below. Even though we may not get to them live, if you're in the Facebook group right now, I'll check questions in a minute. But I think I'd love to do more interviews around YouTube. So if you'd be game, if I put together a little panel of some of the best YouTubers in the mortgage space, would you be game to jump on that and be transparent?
Absolutely. Anything I can do to kind of pass it back, because like I said, I've learned a lot from everybody else that's kind of paved the way for me in a way. So yeah, absolutely. Anything I can do to help, for sure.
Well, one thing that I could tell you, and I want to ask some more questions on this, and I also want to get some of your scripts to get offers accepted right now. Did you notice this new playlist that we have called the Agent Advantage playlist?
No, I didn't see that one.
You didn't by any chance watch any of the Modern Real Estate Summit?
I've gone through some of it. I'm still trying to get caught up and go through everything.
So these videos, when I had loan officers, these were the loan officers and these were the videos. So each one of these was actually a loan officer video. And what makes it unique is that it's two realtors. So it's like, hey, I'm a mortgage coach. Let me explain a strategy to a room full of realtors. And I'm also doing another playlist right now, which I'd love to see if you want to collaborate with. It's called the TCA Lead Magnet, where we're going to feature loan officers that have created content, could be on YouTube, could be on Facebook, but it's leveraging a total cost analysis. And so using a TCA to help generate a lead. Is that something you'd be interested in collaborating on?
Yeah, absolutely. I can, as we start to do these more and more, I'll keep them in mind and we can shoot them over to you. So yeah, you guys can utilize them as well.
Cool. Well, I'm actually gonna also introduce you to Deborah Bird. She is a social media consultant that actually helps with the Modern Mortgage and Modern Real Estate Summit, and she'll help you out. It'll be no cost to you to have her collaborate and maybe create some cool videos together.
Absolutely. Sounds good.
Okay, cool. Cool. So let's walk through how you're using a TCA to win in these bidding wars. What I'm hearing a lot, and if you haven't, I interviewed Michelle Castle yesterday and kind of went through her process. She gave a killer script of how she's getting agents to call her back. But why don't you tell me, what are you doing to win in these bidding wars? Just give us your checklist.
So when we do a pre-approval, we're getting all the documents. I mean, some guys are still taking shortcuts, but we make it a point, we get everything up front and we're doing a thorough pre-qual. Like I said, I've been doing loans out here for 15 years. So I have a really good reputation that when people see our pre-qual letters, I know still I have good relationships with a lot of the listing agents that are out there. And I think that's one thing that does help, first of all. And again, when that doesn't work, if they don't answer when I call them up front, I'm calling and I'm sending that video text message, letting them know I'm local. We're not, I know sometimes people think Loan Depot, we're an online lender. I'm letting these guys know, hey, I'm in your backyard, where our office is located. We verified everything, we've got an approval. And then if it gets to the point where sometimes with these clients, if they get frustrated or they're not getting offers accepted, I do give them the option to do a TBD approval up front. And we just started to implement that recently to where now I'm getting these guys through underwriting. And essentially, we're now telling the agents to write a shorter close. So, we're doing 21 days or less on certain files. And I've created a cool little certificate that I use to send that to the listing agents. And again, when I make those calls, I'm letting them know that they're approved. And I've been getting a lot of responses where they're saying, well, how are you doing that? Or my lender is not doing that. How are you closing so fast? So not only is it opening doors for us, for our clients to get their offers accepted, but now I'm having these calls with listing agents now that are trying to send us their buyer deals as well. So it's kind of a two-headed approach, and it's working pretty well, and again, I have the capacity to do that with our team. So I really wanted to make an emphasis on that because the calling up front wasn't getting the job done last month. To be honest, we started the month really slow. So that was kind of one thing where I had to kind of take a step back and see, what can we do on our side to help get offers accepted. And, it's starting to work this month. So we're pretty happy.
Wow. Is that my phone?
That's me. Sorry.
Oh, okay. I was like, I've never heard my phone do that before. So what are you getting the majority of the listing agents to call you back?
Some will just send a text back, or they'll acknowledge my video text and they'll just say, hey, thanks for this. Or sometimes I get, hey, no one's ever sent this. So then I try to pursue that maybe conversation a little more. But not all of them reply.
What's your script when you call a realtor and you don't get them? What do you say to get them to call you back?
On my video, I'll basically say, hey, this is Sean from Loan Depot. I just want to let you know that we've got so-and-so buyer fully approved. I verified their income, their assets. They've actually gone through underwriting. And, per our offer, we could do a 3-week or less closing. All I really need is an appraisal and clear title, and I'm ready to go. So if you or your seller have any questions, feel free to call me, and hopefully we get a chance to work together. And yeah.
So check out what Michelle's doing on yesterday's interview. She's starting with the property address. So she's saying, such and such realtor, I'm calling regarding such and such property. I'm Michelle with blank lender, and it's important. Please call me back. Boom. I was just like, and she's like, literally says, I get 100% callbacks. And then she navigates the conversation and does everything she can to position her buyer to to win. So anyways, check it out. Another thing Michelle's doing, tell me if you're doing this. She's in a market where appraisal gaps are a concern. And so she's always in the pre-purchase consultation saying, hey, here's column A. We don't have an appraisal problem. Here's column B. We got a little bit of an appraisal gap. Here's column C. We've got a big appraisal gap. And so she's getting them prepared for that going into the offer so that they'll write a bigger offer and have a better chance of winning. Are you doing anything like that?
We're not taking it that far. A lot of our clients are first-time home buyers, so we don't have the extra 20 grand laying around. A lot of them are, they have a budget they have to work with, and we just try to stay within that as much as we can. We haven't had too many issues with appraisals recently. So we haven't.
So you're not having appraisal gaps?
Not a whole lot. And the ones that we've have been just so large that the buyers just, they're not doing it. So it's knock on wood. I mean, we haven't had too many issues, and the ones that we've had issues on, we've been able to overcome those. So we've been able to move past that.
Well, one idea, well, there's a couple ideas, but if you do get hit with it, one of the things we're seeing the most common in the community is single premium MI, where, hey, I can keep your payment the same and I can keep your down payment pretty close to the same because we'll do a single premium MI. And that way they're not getting hit with the big cash to close. They're still keeping it, even though they may not, they're still keeping it low, and they're keeping the payment pretty much the same. So I don't know if you've thought of that or you've done any single premium MI lately.
But with that post, that's kind of essentially what I was thinking. I mean, anytime someone's thinking of putting the 20% down, my first initial reaction is always, hey, if we can lower the down payment, show them how we do the MI, we can save them some money, right? So in that case, my client, instead of putting 70, 80,000 down, we're looking at maybe 35. And for her, she was like, well, I still need to furnish my house, and kind of relating to her in that sense, that echoed, loudly with her, to where, like I said, I think I'm going to get this deal in August when she needs to get rolling again. But, it's 70 grand and she's staying at home with her parents, trying to save every dollar. And, she's like, I don't want to put it down the 20%, but if I have to, I'll do it. And that's kind of what prompted me to really go into the numbers with her. And honestly, I think it won her over, and I feel pretty good. We'll get that deal, I think, in a couple months.
Cool. Well, I love this post, strategy beats rate. And guys, check it out. Follow this dude on Instagram. Make sure you check out his YouTube channel. What are the TCAs you are doing most often for purchases? What are some of the most common strategies that you're doing?
We're showing the buy down options, whether it's 1 or 2 points. And sometimes we'll show a credit. So pretty straightforward, nothing too crazy. Like I said, our market, a lot of people are really rate conscious, and there's not a lot of cash that we have to work with. But I do that more in the sense of getting them to understand the difference in the rate, and the fact that they're probably shopping me, and they're looking online with Lending Tree and all these sites, and they're probably quoting 1.5, 2 points. So I start to show those in our TCA, just so they can see that, yeah, you can get this rate, but it's going to cost you X amount of dollars. And if we looked at maybe a 1 point buy down or even a par rate option, hey, look, your difference in your payment's only, $30. So is it really worth spending, the extra $8,000 to get you there? And just kind of having that conversation up front, so that way we can try to eliminate so much of the shopping. And that's another thing too, why I've started to send in some of these files for our TBD approval, is to get more buy-in from them up front, to kind of eliminate the whole shopping thing. Because if I can get them approved and get them more bought into what we're doing, we're building more trust, hopefully, throughout that process.
Well, you're also giving them the platform to shop with you. So you've spent the time, you focus on their hopes, dreams, and goals. You've put together options. So they pick an option, they pick you. So it's super strategic. One last question. Are you seeing a more competitive rate environment out there, where people are shopping more, they're grinding a little harder Are you seeing that in your market or with your practice?
We haven't had too much lately, and I think we're not the lowest rate. I think we're kind of middle of the road, so it comes up every once in a while. But I think having that conversation up front with them kind of alleviates us on the back end from having to really get grinded on rate. And that's why too, like I said, I really have been making an effort to get these files going through approval. That way, when they do get their contract, I can move a lot faster. Like we just had one today. We got the TBD back and he actually got his offer accepted today. So, we'll get this guy locked in, and I mean, we'll be ready to close probably in a couple of weeks.
Love it. Well, my takeaway for this conversation is lowest rate almost never means the best deal. The best strategy, the right loan strategy for the family, and the best professional that educates the family to get the best loan is where it's at. So, brother, I appreciate you. I'll give you the closing thoughts since it's the first time I've interviewed you and you've watched a lot of these videos. Kind of think back when you were either new in the business or you were new to mortgage coach. What advice do you have to people who are watching this right now?
I would just say go through every video like I did. I mean, there's so much in there that you can unpack and learn and just really understand the benefits of using the TCA, using the software, and just really utilizing that as a tool to really help you grow your business. And I mean, all these other guys that are on here sharing their secrets, just learn from that, make it a practice, and just continue to watch these videos, because I mean, no matter what, how great of a year we can have, every month, I feel we start at zero. So you got to sharpen your tools every month, no matter how many loans you close, and just keep staying on top of your game.
Love it. Well, my closing thought is, guys, watch at least one a week. While I create for the community more than one video a week, I don't care what level of success you are, one mortgage coach video a week will pay for itself. You'll make more money. You'll like your job better. And I'll bet you, when you think of your years where you were providing fee worksheets and now you're a mortgage coach, the job's funner. You get more, you have more confidence in what you do, and you feel like you're making a bigger difference. You agree with that?
Totally. I mean, my whole team, they know what the TCA is. Agents we work with, they know what to expect, and it's transparency too. We're not playing games and hiding fees, and I think they can appreciate that, especially a lot of the customers too, when they're shopping around and they're not knowing what to ask, where to look. So when we show the TCA and it clearly breaks down, 3-4 options, we're building that trust. And I think with the agents too, they respect that we're doing that for them. And I record my video on every single TCA. So even though, we do a lot of online lead generation, they can still see me and hear me, and then obviously tie that in with our social media and YouTube and everything else. So they know that, hey, when they talk to me on the phone, it's actually me, and they know what to expect.
Well, Sean, man, you are an inspiration. You're a great leader in the industry. Appreciate what you're doing. I hope to see a couple of videos where you're using the TCA as either a lead magnet with consumers or using it to help agents. I'll introduce you to Deborah in a follow-up to this, and tag me on anything, post anything. And I look forward to following you, and I look forward to interviewing you again and doing it. I really want to drill down more on what you're doing with YouTube, how you're doing it. So stay tuned for that, brother.
I appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me. This is
all right, man. Take care. And folks, give us a like, share this with your mortgage friends, and have a great day, everybody.